Drury back in this motherfucker, man. You know what the fucking time it is. You feel me? Nah, I'm just playing. Yeah, we gonna start reacting to this motherfucking NBA, more NBA shit. You know what I'm saying? Drury back. Jimmy Butler just exposed the NBA. Now, I ain't even gonna lie with you. Jimmy Butler did. He did make shit go crazy with the motherfucking Warriors, bro. I ain't gonna lie, these past few months have been fucking crucial for him. So we're gonna get into it. It's 14 minutes long. Fucking like, comment, subscribe. That's some cliche ass shit. Just do it if you want to. I don't give a fuck, really. Let's see.
If there's one thing that's become crystal clear over the last decade of NBA basketball, it's that the league is now completely driven by analytics.
Yeah, that's true.
Analytics come in now. I don't know if they did this before, and they say we have to play this way.
What's your three-point percentage? What's your wingspan? How many points per game do you average?
I feel like it's always been like that, though.
Roster moves, play style, even contracts, is dictated by analytics, almost as if teams are playing a real-life video game.
Very hard. This shot is worth 1.5 more than this shot.
Huh? How does that make sense? So what? So like 30 feet out of the 3-point line is 1.5 more than the inside shot. How does that make sense? JJ Redick said that, so I don't know.
No one has shaped this data revolution more than Daryl Morey.
Fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga Daryl Morey, bro. Daryl Morey's a bitch. And you want to tell you why Daryl Morey's a bitch? That nigga made James Harden go to the fucking Sixers, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Call it what you fucking want, nigga. He made James Harden one of Daryl. Look at him, bro. Just look at his face. This nigga just screams racist. That's what he screams. I swear. He just screams that. Fuck
his
that
philosophy,
nigga, bro.
now known as Morey Ball, has completely
Morey Ball. Nigga got a name for himself, imagine.
revolutionized the modern NBA by emphasizing three-pointers and layups while
he did, and then in 28, my bad for pausing. He did, and then in 2018, we had our best chance. 2019 too, Chris Paul got injured. Nigga didn't know what to do.
Diminishing the importance of mid-range
Where are we going?
The idea is simple. Crack the numbers, and you crack the game.
That's true. Crack the numbers, crack the numbers. That's tough.
Many would argue, however, that this numbers-first approach makes the game too predictable, draining the excitement. But for teams chasing wins, the analytics rule. If the data says it works, nothing else matters.
Yeah. Right?
And then there's Jimmy Butler, who refuses to play by the numbers.
He's always better with a ball handler. And that pass from Draymond to Butler.
At 35 years old, the Warrior star is a
what
glitch.
The fuck? Actually, Jimmy Butler's 35 years old, bro? What the fuck? That nigga does not look 35. Black don't crack, nigga. I mean, we all knew that.
In the matrix of modern basketball. He's a below-average three-point shooter. He doesn't have elite length.
Yeah,
and
really?
If you looked at his stats alone, you'd think he was just another role player. By today's metrics, he shouldn't be this good. But somehow, he keeps breaking the algorithm. Every team he touches turns into a contender. And in 2025, he's rewriting the script again, turning the Warriors from a league-wide afterthought into a legitimate threat.
They've won 10 straight games that Jimmy Butler's played in, so pretty much every locker room with Jimmy Butler I've been in postgame is a winning locker room, which is also...
How is Butler doing this? Why don't his numbers reflect his impact? And the biggest question of all, is Jimmy Buckets exposing the limits of NBA analytics?
I mean, everybody knows that the numbers don't that doesn't make you a fucking great generational player. Draymond Green, bro, had the most assists given to Steph Curry threes in the history of the NBA, bro. Think about that. Think about it. Okay, this nigga doesn't score 30 a game, 25 a game, probably. This nigga does what's needed on the court. I've heard a lot of bad shit, though. I've heard Eric Spoelstra wanted to give that nigga the beats. I've heard that nigga Eric Spoelstra wanted to give this nigga Jimmy Butler the beats, bro. Don't believe me? Look that shit up, bro. I swear. I swear. Look at like what happened, like shit that was happening on the bench, bro. There was videos. At this glitch.
Before the 2025 trade deadline, the Warriors were in serious trouble. They were dropping game after game. Steph Curry was clearly frustrated, and the team looked like it was slowly falling apart.
The Golden State Warriors 2024-25 NBA season might be over.
Warriors fans online were desperately searching for answers, but nothing seemed to make sense. Some believed the Warriors needed another top 20 player next to Steph. Others thought they needed a true point guard and floor general. And then there were those who felt it was time to blow it all up and rebuild.
You need to rebuild, and you need to blow it up, and you need to be drastic, whatever it is that you do, because that's the only way that you can potentially hit on something that's going to point you in the right direction.
In the end,
look, these niggas are just so fucking confident, bro. Like what they say, they have no credibility, bro. Where source did you get that from?
Really hit on something that's going to point you in the right direction.
Like,
in the end, the Warriors landed Jimmy Butler, a player who, through 25 games with the Heat this season, was averaging just 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Numbers that wouldn't even get you into the All-Star game in today's NBA.
But Draymond made it. Okay.
And if that wasn't bad enough, according to 2K, Jimmy wasn't just outside the top 20. He wasn't even top 40. Jimmy Butler was ranked as just the 48th best player in the league. On paper, this team should have collapsed.
What?
But instead,
What?
the exact opposite happened.
Okay.
By 21. Wild. That was something else. With 4 titles and now 500.
Wait.
That was something else.
Chicago, Milwaukee,
With 4
Charlotte.
titles.
Doesn't matter. They're against subpar teams. Play the Celtics. Play the Cavs. Play the Lakers with LeBron.
And now 500.
Not trying to be a hater. I'm not being a hater, bro.
By all accounts, this made no sense. If the numbers were the ultimate truth, how did the Warriors go from rock bottom to dominance overnight? All by adding a player the stats were against.
Okay.
Bro, I'm jumping out the window right now, dog. They are a Western Conference Finals max team. Like, you know them Jimmy Butler teams, bro, it's like...
Even after joining Golden
What
State,
the
Jimmy Butler teams, bro, it's like...
fuck? That's Steph Curry's godfather, bro. Don't believe me. Look that shit up. That's Steph Curry's godfather. No wonder he's saying that. Damn, Steph Curry really could be flaunting his shit. His godfather got that money, and Steph should have that money, bro. Wow.
even
That's
after joining
insane.
Golden State, Jimmy's
it.
effective field goal percentage dropped to 47.3%. For context,
Okay.
Russell Westbrook gets ripped apart for his inefficiency, and yet Jimmy was now in the same category. But the Warriors were still winning
What?
because of him.
Russell Westbrook?
He's
No,
but
it's
the
crazy.
Warriors were still. And
You know what's crazy? Russell Westbrook, bro. That nigga looks like a fucking python. A python, nigga. A snake. That nigga does not. Okay, he had one MVP season. I just had an argument with the homie about a nigga talking about Russell Westbrook is a top 10 player of all time. Nigga is smoking. Smoking. Nigga, what the fuck? Nigga had one good MVP season. Nigga, that's like putting James Harden, 2017 James Harden on a team like the fucking Magic, bro.
yet Jimmy was now in the same
Hear none of
category.
that shit.
But the Warriors were still winning because of him. He's defying everything the modern NBA is built on. The idea that numbers dictate success. So that begs the question, if the numbers are lying, what's the truth?
Okay. Can't measure. One
There
thing.
are things in basketball that numbers will never capture. If I just told you, it might not sink in. So instead, let me show you with stories. In the 2020 NBA Finals, the Miami Heat were already huge underdogs against the Lakers. And then, in Game 3, it got even worse.
COVID, bro.
They lost Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic, their second and third best players. At that point, this wasn't just an uphill battle. It was like climbing Everest with no oxygen. But Jimmy Butler, he didn't care.
What the fuck is that?
With no oxygen.
What the fuck is
But
that?
Jimmy Butler, he didn't
What the fuck is in his beard?
Everest with no oxygen. But Jimmy Butler,
Oh, why did I pause it?
he didn't care.
Oh, that nigga didn't have a nigga that had a mustache. That shit was grown like 5 years.
He went out and dropped a 40-point triple-double without hitting a single
That's
three.
tough though. 40-point triple-double is
And
tough.
in the fourth quarter, after scoring a tough
without hitting 3-2. My bad.
bucket on LeBron James, the guy who had been to almost every finals for a decade,
Overrated.
Jimmy looked him dead in the eye and said, "You're in trouble." Just think about that. Shorthanded, outmatched, on the biggest stage, and trash-talking one of the greatest of all time? What makes this even crazier is that Jimmy fully believed it.
Jimmy, first I just wanted to clarify. It looked like you said you're in trouble. Is that what you said?
That is what I said.
Okay.
In the 2023 NBA playoffs, the 8th-seeded Miami Heat went up against the 1st-seeded Milwaukee Bucks, the best regular season team in the league. And Jimmy Butler, he didn't back down for a second. He put up insane performances, completely tore them apart, and led Miami to one of the biggest upsets in NBA history, becoming just the 6th number 8 seed ever to take down a number 1 seed. And to make it even better, he looked them straight in the eye and said, "I own you." He didn't just beat the best team in the league.
Talking to
He
Drew
trash-talked
Holiday.
them. He embarrassed them and made sure they knew it.
Yeah, but
Jimmy Butler isn't in the NBA to make friends. He doesn't beg for help. He doesn't actively team up with other superstars. And the reason he's been criticized, the reason he's bounced around the league,
why?
It's because not every team is built for his mentality.
He brings it every single possession. And see, when I think of guys with the Mamba mentality, I need to look at guys and watch guys that play every possession, not every minute, but every second. And Jimmy falls under that category.
This is the dog factor. You won't find it on a box score. You won't see it in any advanced analytics. And honestly, I don't think numbers can even quantify it. But
that's great. That's
and honestly,
great. That's fucking great. Draymond Green is bending over, pause, looking at Jimmy Butler draw up a play. That's progress. That's why the Warriors have been so successful, bro. Draymond Green listening to Jimmy Butler? Oh, fuck. 2025, y'all.
I don't think numbers can even quantify it. But whatever it is, Jimmy has it in spades.
Yeah.
And yet, NBA teams look at his 17-5-5 stat line and think, and yet, NBA teams look at his 17.
What the fuck were you thrusting? What the fuck? I thought that was beer on the sideline. Nigga, that's
5 and 5 stat line and think,
sorry,
nothing special. And that's why time and time again, they let him walk. And look, I'll be real, I was guilty of this too. When Jimmy first joined the Warriors, I wasn't sure what to expect. But when the team was struggling, when the season looked like it was slipping away, Jimmy stood firm, like King Leonidas, with the belief of a warrior facing 300 against 1,000,000.
Let's get it. Championship coming soon.
Most superstars, maybe even all of them, wouldn't have the nerve to say that. But Jimmy, the dog in him can. Like the saying goes, life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. And that right there, that's the dog factor. That's the thing numbers will never measure.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let it play.
Here's a clip of Allen Iverson. An NBA superstar from over 2 decades ago, responding to a reporter asking if going to practice would make his teammates better.
How the hell can I make my teammates better by practicing?
NBA players probably get the idea of making their teammates better on a surface level. But do they really understand it on a DNA level? Kobe Bryant had every move on offense and was a lockdown defender. But even he admitted there was one more level to his game. Not a skill, not better footwork, but making his teammates better.
Once I realized that my goal really is to be the best player I can be, and then what that means helping my teammates be the best players that they can be. And once I figured that out, then my game went to another level.
It's not always an assist on the box score. It's not necessarily a +1 in the plus-minus department. But the impact? It's real. For a first-hand example, just look at Jimmy Butler's time with the Miami Heat. For the first 2 seasons, Bam Adebayo was just a decent role player, putting up mediocre numbers at best. Then in 2020, when Jimmy arrived, Bam suddenly became a double-double machine, an all-star and one of the best defensive players in the NBA.
He raised the level of play around people. Yes, sir. He make you play harder.
Okay, so I see what they're getting at. They're trying to say that Jimmy being on a team is just going to make everybody else on the roster feel better. I feel that.
You know, he just
I like
make
that.
you
I like that
care
take.
a little bit.
It's not a bad
more.
take. I mean,
Then, after Jimmy moved to Golden State, look at what happened to Steph Curry. Before Jimmy arrived...
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Steph Curry's, this is not his prime.
Whispers of Steph slowing down were growing louder.
You're saying,
But
so you're
now-
saying Jimmy Butler's better than Draymond Green? Yeah, he is. I'm sure.
He's setting defenses on fire again.
Steph from midcourt. Oh,
Bro.
did he ghost him on that too?
The fact is, Jimmy Butler elevates his teammates. There's no stat for this, no flashy metric, nothing the NBA can measure. But the proof is in his track record. And if that's not the essence of an MVP, then what is?
The truth Jimmy is bringing to life.
If there's one thing to learn from Jimmy Butler, it's this. Never let numbers define who you are. Think about it. What was your GPA in school? How many followers do you have? What's your net worth? We live in a world where numbers seem to decide everything. Your intelligence, your status, your worth. But here's the thing. Numbers don't measure heart. They don't measure resilience. They don't measure the fire inside you.
Okay, so imagine people like that had the heart, the resilience, the fire inside you, inside a player like Steph Curry. I'm not saying Steph doesn't, or like in LeBron.
If they did, Jimmy Butler wouldn't be where he is right now. Because by the numbers, he was never supposed to be this guy. An unranked recruit out of high school, the last pick in the first round of the NBA draft, traded, doubted, overlooked again and again. And yet, at every stop,
He was drafted second round, right? I think out of
rewritten
Marquette.
the narrative. Because as Jimmy keeps showing us, numbers don't define you.
And he just drinks
Only
coffee.
you define that. And that's what I love about it.
He drinks a fuck
It's
ton
not
of
about
coffee, bro.
basketball.
Look it up.
It's about never being intimidated, no matter the odds. It's about never looking at Goliath and backing down just because he's bigger. It's about always believing in yourself and the people around you until the very end. That kind of mindset, it changes everything. And now that he's on the Warriors, sheesh.
What is that?
On the other hand, while Jimmy Butler is elevating the team, the Dallas Mavericks...
Fuck you. Fuck you, Nico. Fuck you, bro. You're fucking weird. And ever since, I'm a keep on saying this fucking shit, bro. The reason the niggas traded Luka Doncic to the fucking Lakers is because in 2 years, Texas has a law to petition to bring gambling to the state. And that's going to make things happen for Dallas. Think about it. Niggas are going to make Dallas Mavericks an unwatchable team. They're already talking about forfeiting teams. Cool. Now let's trade the best player to LA. Let's get AD. He gets injured. Let's get Kyrie 2 years ago. Fuck it. He's injured now. Now we have no playable starters, no playable team. We might have to forfeit games. Oh, we're not making no money. What does that mean? Oh, we're not selling no tickets. Oh, in 2 years when we gamble, make us a state that we can fucking gamble in. Why? We need more money, bro. You want to bring more money to the state? Let's make a casino in Dallas. Buy American Airlines Center. It all happens for a fucking reason, bro. Think about it. It doesn't take a rocket science. Nico's smart if he's in connection with them niggas that own the fucking casino in Vegas. Bro, they own the Mavericks. Look it up.
Front office is tearing one down. Somehow, instead of making their team better, they've managed to make it worse to a level I don't think I've ever seen before. And Luka, he's exposing it all with every game. If you want to see exactly what I mean and how the Mavs ended up in this catastrophe, then click on this video here where I break down exactly how the Mavs felt.
Nice video. Great video. Fucking Jimmy Butler. I'm going to have to start tapping in with the Warriors games, bro.